Hello friends, our today's topic is the centriole and centrosome is the next organelle which is present into the animal cells. Okay? So these centriole or what is the centrosome? The two centrioles are placed perpendicular to each other. The two cylindrical structures are called as centrioles. There are two cylindrical structures which are present perpendicular to each other. Okay, one is vertical and another one is horizontal. So these two cylindrical structures are known as centrioles. Okay, and around this centriole there is a pericentriolar. This dotted is the pericentriolar microtubules. Pericentriolar microtubules. So this is completely known as the centrosome. So centrosome means the centrioles plus these pericentriolar microtubules, this collectively called as centrosome. Now where this centrosome is present, it is present near to the nucleus inside the cell. Okay? Then what is the basic function of this centriole or centrosomes? It helps in chromosome division during the cell division. Okay? The next chapter is the cell division. Our next chapter is cell division. So during cell division there is a separation of chromosome. Okay, there is a equal distribution of chromosome. That distribution of chromosome is done by this centrosome. And how does it takes place, we will study in the cell division chapter. Okay, so here it is sufficient. What is the centrosome? Centrosome is made up of the two cylindrical structures which are called as centrioles and the surrounding pericentriolar microtubules, okay, which helps in the chromosome division during the cell division. Then important point is that the internal structure of centrosome. So internal structure of centrosome consists of 9+0 arrangement. 9+0 arrangement. In the last topic, that is the flagella and cilia, we have seen the internal structure of the flagella and cilia, and in the flagella and cilia there is a 9+2 arrangement. Okay, means there are two microtubules which are present on the center and 9 peripheral microtubules. That is why that arrangement is called as 9+2 arrangement, and here is a 9+0 arrangement. So it means that there are 0 microtubules at the center of this centriole or centrosome and 9 peripheral microtubules are present. But there is another difference. So what is actually that difference? We will see in the structure. We will see the detailed structure, internal structure of the centrosome and centrioles. Okay? So now draw the diagram. So look carefully on the board. This is the central portion. This is the central portion into these centriole and centrosomes. Then around that there is a 9. So we have to draw an imaginary line, imaginary circle to make a diagram. Okay, so this is the imaginary line. Okay, so make it at the center. The center portion should be at the center. So this is the central portion. Okay, we will give naming to the each and every part of the internal structure of the centrosome or centriole. But there are basically the 9 points: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Now we have already studied the internal structure of the cilia and flagella. In cilia and flagella, the internal structures have 9 peripheral microtubules and which are present in the form of doublets. Means A and B, which is made up of 13 protofilament. Okay, we have seen in the cilia and flagella. So there is a doublet of microtubules, but inside the centrosome and centriole, the internal structure consists of the triplet microtubules. The triplet microtubules means which consists the 3 microtubules. So that's why there are 3 microtubules. The inner one is A, then B, and another one is C. And each microtubule is made up of 13 protofilament, but B and C are made up of 10 protofilaments. So this is the A, B, and C. So like this, there are total 9 peripheral microtubules. So these are peripheral microtubules which are in the form of triplet. Okay? So triplet microtubules, and in cilia and flagella there is a doublet microtubules. But these microtubules are made up of the 13 protofilaments. Okay? So इथं A 13 protofilament and B 10 protofilament. Same here. A is made up of 13 protofilament, B is made up of 10 protofilament, and C is made up of 10 protofilament. So total there are 9 peripheral microtubules. So I am drawing now total 9 numbers. Naming is the same: A, B, and C. A, B, and C, and all these are made up of the 13 protofilaments into the A, 10 protofilaments into the B, and 10 protofilaments into the C. Okay? So here is again A, B, and C. Okay? Here is again A, B, and C. Here is same A, B, and C. Here is A, B, and C. Here is same A, B, and C, and last one 9, that is A, B, and C. So A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, then A, B, C, A, B, C, and A, B, C. Okay? So these are total 9 peripheral microtubules, and at the center there is no microtubule. There is a proteinous structure. Which is called as central hub, which is a proteinaceous structure, means which is made up of proteins. That is why proteinaceous structure, which is called as central hub. So there is no central microtubules. That's why this arrangement is called as 9 plus 0. 0 means there is no any central microtubules. Only at the periphery there are 9 microtubules which are present in the form of triplets. Now another one thing is that you know that in the cilia and flagella there is a AB linker. So same here is a AC linker, not AB linker. So AC. Okay, not like this, not C to A. We have to draw from A to C. Okay, so A to C, then this A to C, this A to C, this A to C, A to C, A to C, then again this A to next C, this A to the next C, and this A to the next C. So there are these total AC linkers. So these are AC linkers. Now why it is called as AC linker? Because it connects the A microtubules to the C of the next microtubule or next triplet microtubules. That is why called as AC linkers. ठीक आहे, जसं की आपण सिलिया आणि फ्लायजेला मध्ये बघितलं देयर आर AB लिंकर्स, त्याच पद्धतीने ते काय दिसतात AC लिंकर दिसतात. Then the next structure is there is a bodies in between these two microtubules. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9. So 9 microtubules and 9 bodies. These bodies are called as X body. These bodies are called as X body. Okay, which is present in between the two adjacent peripheral microtubules, two peripheral triplet microtubules. And there is another structure, which is present in front of these microtubule, that is Y body, So this is the Y body, this is the Y body, this one is Y body, this one is Y body, this one is Y body, this is Y body, and this is Y body. So there are total 9 Y bodies and 9 X bodies. So this one is Y body. Okay. Now there is a connection in between the X and Y body. There is a connection in between the X and Y body. So this, like this, there is a connection in between the X and Y body. There is a connection in between these X and Y body. So this is the connections in between the X and Y body. So this is the connection in between the X and Y body. And there is the radial spokes. There are radial spokes. Radial spokes are also present. From this body arises the radial spokes. So there are total 9 radial spokes, means one for each peripheral microtubule. So these are radial spokes. So this one is radial spoke. Okay, radial spoke. Okay. So this is the complete internal structure of the centriole and the centrosome. But the difference is now that in the cilia and flagella, this cilia and flagella helps in the movement, help in the locomotion of the organisms. But these centrioles which present into the into the cells, which does not help in the movement. These centrioles only help during the chromosome division, during the cell division. Means from these centrioles arises the fibers, like this. Suppose this is the cell and this is the nucleus, and here is present the centriole. During the cell division, initially this centriole divides and form the two centrioles and present at the two different poles. This is the another pole and this is another pole. And from these centrioles arises the fibers, and these fibers help in the division or separation of the chromosome. Means this fiber separates the chromosome. This process we will discuss in detail into the cell division. But here only you have to remember that these centrioles does not help in the movement or locomotion, because at the center there is no central microtubules, and that's why it cannot rotate. So the basic function of this centriole and centrosome is to arises the microtubules or the fibers from these centrioles, which helps in the separation of the chromatids during the cell division. So this is the basic structure, internal structure of the centrosome, and function is that to arises the fibers, and that fibers help in the separation of chromosome during the cell division. Our next topic is the nucleus, and this is the last topic of this chapter, that is the nucleus. So nucleus is present into these animal cells as well as the plant cell. Now this nucleus is also called as karyon into the Greek. Okay? The discovery of nucleus is done by the Robert Brown in 1831. Now there are some information about the nucleus. So there is a variation in the number of nucleus into the different organisms. So first condition is that no nucleus, means suppose a cell which does not contain the nucleus, that cell are called as enucleated cell. ठीक है. So enucleated cell means there is a no nucleus. The example is that the mature mammalian RBC, that is red blood cells. These cells are also present in our body because humans are also included into the mammals. Okay, means those animals have mammary glands which produces the milks. So these cells does not have this RBC does not have nucleus. The reason behind it, so that the absence of nucleus that I have explained in the previous lectures. So next one is one nucleus. The cells are called as uninucleated cell, means the cells which contains only one nucleus, those cells are called as uninucleated cell. So uninucleated cells, there are so many cells which are uninucleated. So in our body, the muscle cells, okay, these are uninucleated cells. So our body cells are uninucleated cells. Then second condition is that two nucleus. If there is a two nucleus into the same cell, that cell is called as binucleated cell. Bi means two. So the cell contains two nucleus. The example is paramecium. Okay. Then next condition in number is that many nucleus. If cell contains many nucleus, that cell is called as multinucleated cell. And the example is the Opalena. Opalena is the animal. Then next is position of the nucleus. So there are two positions, that is centric and eccentric. Centric position means at the center of the cell. Centric means at the center of the cell. So the center or centric position is present in the animal cells, and eccentric means away from the center, means the nucleus is present at the periphery of the cell, and eccentric position is seen into the plant cell. Why it is eccentric into the plant cell? Because in plant cell there is a large vacuole, and that vacuole is present at the center, and that's why this large vacuole pushes the nucleus towards the periphery. That is why in plant cell the position is eccentric. Then shape, there is a different types of the shapes of the nucleus are also observed. Oval shape is observed into the muscle cells of the body. Then bilobed shape into the acidophils. Now what are acidophils? Acidophils are the cells, these are the types of white blood cells which are present in our blood. So acidophils are the types of WBC, that is white blood cells, which are present in our blood. So in acidophils there is a bilobed nucleus. Then trilobe nucleus or multilobe nucleus is present into the neutrophils. Again these neutrophils are also types of the white blood cells, that is WBC. And most common shape is the circular shape. Okay, circular shape which is present in almost all the body cells. So this is the some basic information about the nucleus. Now the actual structure of the nucleus. So this is the structure of nucleus. Structure of nucleus consists the membrane, okay, that is the nuclear membrane, and that membrane is divided into the two membranes, that is outer membrane and inner membrane. So this is the outer membrane and this one is the inner membrane, and collectively these outer and inner membrane are called as karyotheca. Theca means the covering and karyo means the nucleus, that is why karyotheca, or this is also called as nuclear membrane. So nuclear membrane is divided into the outer membrane and the inner membrane. Now on the outer membrane, there is a particles. These particles are called as ribosomes. So ribosomes are present onto the outer membrane of the cells. Okay. Then inside the membrane there is a nucleoplasm. Okay. In the cell there is a presence of cytoplasm. So like that there is a cytoplasm inside this nucleus, that is why it is called as nucleoplasm, and that nucleoplasm contains the enzymes which is rich in enzymes for a DNA replication, because the DNA replication process takes place inside the nucleus, because DNA is present inside this nucleus in the form of network. Okay, that is chromatin fiber or chromatin network. So there are so many enzymes which are required for DNA replication, like the DNA polymerase enzymes, RNA polymerase enzymes, which are present inside this nucleoplasm. Then divalent ions like the magnesium 2+, zinc 2+ are also present into this nucleoplasm, because these ions are required for the activation of the enzymes. Then the nucleoplasm also contains the three types of the RNA, that is rRNA, mRNA and tRNA, ribosomal RNA, messenger RNA and tRNA. All the three types of RNA are present inside the nucleoplasm. So this is the contents of the nucleoplasm. Then next structure is the nuclear pore. Okay? The nuclear membrane is not continuous. Nuclear membrane is not continuous. It is a discontinuous structure. There is a pore at the certain intervals. That pores are called as nuclear pore into the nuclear membrane. And the number varies from 1000 to 10,000 nuclear pore into the one nucleus. And the diameter of the nuclear pore is 800 angstrom. Okay? Then another structure is important structure, that is chromatin fiber. So this chromatin fiber is present in the form of network. Okay? So it is made up of the DNA. The DNA is present in the form of coiling in the form of fibers, which is called as chromatin fiber or chromatin network. And last one structure is the nucleolus. This nucleolus is the dark stain body. It is a dark dense body which is observed inside this nucleoplasm, which is called as nucleolus. Sorry, not nucleus, nucleolus. So inside the nucleus is the nucleolus. Now what is nucleolus? Nucleolus is the dark stain body, dark dense particle which is observed inside the nucleus. Okay? In the next lecture we will see exactly the function of nucleolus and structure of nucleolus. Okay? And to this outer membrane of the nucleus there is attached this endoplasmic reticulum. We have already seen the endoplasmic reticulum, the structure of endoplasmic reticulum. So this endoplasmic reticulum actually arises from the outer membrane. Okay? So this is the structure of nucleus. So basically it contains the membrane. Inside the membrane there is a nucleoplasm, and inside the nucleoplasm there is a various enzymes and ions, and main component is that chromatin fiber which is made up of the DNA. So that genetic material is present inside the nucleus. Okay? Genetic material is present inside the nucleus of the cell, and there is a nucleolus which is mainly made up of the ribosomes, or the function is production of the ribosome. We will discuss about the nucleolus in the last lecture, in the next lecture, that is nucleolus. So this is the basic structure of the nucleus, is the nuclear membrane, the structure of nuclear pore or nuclear membrane. In the last lecture we have seen the nucleus, and nucleus have two membranes, that is outer membrane and inner membrane, which is collectively called as karyotheca. So structure of nuclear membrane or nuclear pore. Okay? So nuclear membrane have two membranes, okay, that is outer membrane and inner membrane, and in this membrane there is pore which are called as nuclear pores. So this is the pore, actually this is the pore, and this is the outer membrane. Okay? Outer membrane, and these outer membrane have ribosomes. Okay? Ribosomes. So this is the outer side of the nucleus, and this one is the inner side of the nucleus. There is another one extra layer is present inside this inner membrane, which is called as fibrillar lamina, which is electron rich protein, which is made up of electron rich protein. The function of fibrillar lamina is to support the inner nuclear membrane. Okay? So this is the function of the fibrillar lamina, means which is made up of the electron rich proteins. The function is to support the inner nuclear membrane, which is present inner to the inner nuclear membrane. So this one is the inner membrane. Okay? Now there is a pore there is a pore in between these two nuclear membranes. So we have seen in the last lecture the nuclear membrane is not continuous, it is a discontinuous, means there is a pores, there are pores. The number is 1000 to 10,000 nuclear pores are present into the each nucleus. So actually this is not like this, means simply a pore, but there is another structure. So there is a ring-like structure, is present, and inside this ring is made up of 8 vertical rings. So like this, there are these 8 vertical rings. So this is the portion actually where is the pore, or through which the material is transported from inside the nucleus to the outside environment and from outside to the inside. Okay? So these are 8 vertical fibers. Vertical fibers. How many? Total 8 vertical fibers are present. Okay? Like this. Suppose these are the 3. So 1, 2, okay? Then 3, 6 and 2. So it will make a ring-like structure which is called as annulus. So this structure is called as annulus. Now the diameter of this annulus, means the diameter of this complete structure is 800 angstrom. Okay, in the last lecture we have seen the diameter, but the portion actually which helps in the transport of material is only this portion. Okay, this blue one, which is a shaded portion. Okay, this portion contains the nucleoplasmin. Nucleoplasmin is the fluid, okay, which helps in the transport of the material from inner side to the outward and from outside to inside. And the diameter of this nucleus or nucleoplasmin means only this region, okay, through which the material actually is transported. So diameter of this region is only 500 angstrom. Okay, but the total diameter is 800 angstrom, and the actual diameter or actual opening is only 500 angstrom, through which the actively substances are transported from inner side to the outside and from outside to the inner side. So this is this actual structure of the nuclear pore. Simply there is not like this, means the nuclear membrane, then absence of nuclear membrane and nuclear membrane. There is a structure which is called as the annulus, and through which there is annulus through which the substances goes in and out. Okay, so this is the actual structure of the nuclear pore. Okay, then another thing related with the nucleus is the nucleoplasm. We have seen the nucleoplasm contains the rRNA, mRNA, tRNA, then various enzymes which are required for the DNA replications. Okay, and another ions which are required for the activation of these enzymes which are required for the DNA replication. The nucleoplasm, the pH of nucleoplasm is the 7.4, means it is a slightly alkaline in nature. This is the another information about the nucleoplasm, that is pH of the nucleoplasm is 7.4, means it is a slightly alkaline. So this is the structure of the nuclear pore. The nuclear pore or the membrane consists of two membrane, outer and inner. Inner membrane again have one extra layer, that is fibrillar lamina, which is made up of electron rich protein which support to the inner membrane. And the pore is made up of the annulus, means 8 vertical fibers are present which forms the annulus. The actual diameter through which the substances are gets transported is 500 angstrom, and total diameter is 800 angstrom, and the substance present in this space is called as nucleoplasmin. Okay, so this is the structure of the nuclear pore. Topic is the nucleolus and the chromatin. These are the last topic of this chapter, that is cell, the basic unit of life. So first one is the nucleolus. Nucleolus is the dark stain body which is observed inside the nucleus. Okay, nucleolus is present inside the nucleolus is present inside this nucleus. Then the discovery of nucleolus is done by discovered by Fontana scientist in the eel cell. Eel is a fish. Okay? Then the term nucleolus is given by the scientist Baumann. Why it is called as nucleolus? Because this is present inside the nucleus, that is why nucleolus. Okay? Then this is the no membrane bounded structure, means there is a no membrane. Okay? Then the structure actually look like this, means there are two parts actually into the nucleolus, is the nucleolar chromatin fiber. Okay? So this is not actually a membrane. Okay? It looks like a membrane, it is not a cell membrane or it is not a plasma membrane, but it is the nucleolar chromatin fiber itself, and inside that there is a pars amorphous substance which is made up of the granules of rRNA. Okay? So that substance, that is amorphous substance, is rich in the granules of rRNA which is made up of rRNA, that is ribosomal RNA, and these membrane like structures are called as nucleolar chromatin fibers. Now the function of the nucleolus is the synthesis and storage of rRNA. Okay? So it is the important function. rRNA is important into the protein synthesis. Okay? So the synthesis and storage of rRNA is done by the nucleolus. Okay? So this is the basic information about the nucleolus and which is sufficient for you. Now the structure. Now the last topic is that chromatin fiber, or which is also called as chromatin network. So chromatin network actually is the DNA which is present inside the nucleus, Suppose this is a cell, and inside the cell there is a nucleus, and you know that inside the nucleus there is a network like structure. That network is called as chromatin network. Okay? So actually what is this chromatin? This chromatin is actually the DNA. Okay? Now this chromatin fiber convert into the chromosomes. Okay? Gets converted into the chromosomes. So now what is the difference in between the chromatin and the chromosomes? Chromatin is a thread like structure, it is a network like structure. Okay? And chromosomes are the condensed part, it look like a X body. Okay? X structure, it has a two arm, condensed arm, that is chromosome. Now why it is called as chromosomes? Chroma means the color, and somes or soma means body, means these are the colored bodies. Okay? That is why these are known as chromosomes, means color bodies present inside the nucleus which are called as chromosomes. But actually these chromosomes are made up of the DNA, So there is a DNA, there is a coiling of DNA inside the chromosome. We will see the packaging of DNA topic into the molecular basis of inheritance chapter, okay, from the genetics unit. So at that time the picture will be clear. So here you have to remember only that the chromosomes are actually nothing but the DNA. There is a condensation of DNA which forms the chromosomes, which looks like this. Okay? Now the chromosomes actually have the arms, okay, two upper arm, two lower arms. Then there is a constriction, that constriction is called as the centromere. So what is the centromere? Centromere is nothing but the constriction at the chromosome, okay, is called as centromere. And at the centromere, on the both side there is a proteinaceous substance, disc like substance, which is called as kinetochore, So these are blue, okay, are the kinetochores. These are disc like structure present on the both side of the centromere. Now the function of this kinetochore is it provides a space, or it provides attachment to the fibers during the cell division, during the separation of the chromatids. These are the chromatids, these are arms are also called as chromatids. So kinetochores gives the attachment to the fibers. These fibers separates the chromosome during the cell division. We will see again this kinetochore into the cell division, which is the last chapter of this unit. Okay? So that is the basic structure of the chromosome: centromere, kinetochore and the arms. Now according to the position, okay, here is chromatin is made up of DNA and histone. So chromatin मध्ये काय, not only DNA but there is a histone. Now what are the histone? Histones are the proteins. नाउ व्हाट इज द फंक्शन ऑफ हिस्टोन्स? हिस्टोन हेल्प इन द पैकेजिंग ऑफ द DNA. ठीक है, हाउ इट हेल्प्स इन द पैकेजिंग ऑफ DNA, दिस टॉपिक we will discuss into the molecular basis of inheritance chapter from the unit of genetics. So basically काय लक्षात ठेवायचं, इथे DNA प्लस हिस्टोन असतं क्रोमॅटिन मध्ये. ठीक आहे, DNA काय केलेलं आहे, पॅकेज करून ठेवलेलं आहे विथ द हेल्प ऑफ द हिस्टोन प्रोटीन्स. नाव क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ द क्रोमोझोम्स, classification of the chromosome on the basis of position of centromere. So chromosome is classified into the 4 groups, that is metacentric, submetacentric, acrocentric and telocentric. सिंपल आहे, वर्ड वरनं तुम्हाला लक्षात ठेवायचं. मेटा मीन्स ॲट द सेंटर, मीन्स सपोज दिस इज द क्रोमोझोम. ठीक आहे, आता मी हा क्रोमोझोम डायरेक्टली एक सिंगल लाईनमध्ये दाखवला आहे. ठीक आहे, सो इफ द सेंट्रोमेअर इज प्रेझेंट ॲट द सेंटर पोझिशन, दॅट क्रोमोझोम इज कॉल्ड ॲज मेटासेंट्रिक. ठीक है, मेटा मीन्स एट द मिडल. सेकेंड टाइप सब मेटासेंट्रिक. नाउ सब मेटासेंट्रिक मीन्स when the centromere is present just away from the center. This is the center. ठीक है, this is the center. So this is the center and this one is center. This line denotes the center. And here the centromere is present at the center, which is called as metacentric chromosome. If the centromere is present just away, suppose this is the center of the chromosome, and if the centromere is present just away from the center, that chromosome is called as submetacentric chromosome. Then acrocentric chromosome means when the centromere is present just near to the tip of the chromosome. This is the tip of the chromosome, and if the centromere is present just near to the tip of the chromosome, okay, that chromosome is called as acrocentric chromosome. And last one is the telocentric, means at the tail. If the centromere is present at the tip of the chromosome, that chromosome is called as telocentric chromosome. So simple है, center, just away from the center, near to the tip and on the tip. These are the 4 types of the chromosomes. Now in the metacentric chromosome, the arms are equally divided. The 2 arms are equally divided because the centromere is present at the center. But in submetacentric chromosome, the centromere is present just away from the center. That's why the one arm is slightly larger than the another. ठीक है, that's why one arm is slightly larger than the another. ठीक है, then the acrocentric, in acrocentric the centromere is present just near to the tip. That's why one arm is very large and another arm is very short. So very larger and very short arm into the acrocentric chromosome. And into the telocentric chromosome there is no arm, there is only single arm, because the centromere is present at the tip of the center. ठीक है, so this is the classification of the chromosomes. These chromosomes are present inside the nucleus, and chromosomes are only visible during the cell division. Chromosomes are only visible during the cell division. Otherwise these are present in the form of network, in the form of thread, which is called as chromatin network. So this is the last topic, that is chromatin. ठीक है, chromatin network. So here we end the chapter, that is cell, the basic unit of life. Thank you.